Oh my
Again.
gosh. Hi, everybody. We are so sorry. See, this is why it's live. This is the real deal of live, where you cannot do any kind of editing. It's go live. 1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah.
We apologize. Okay. I think when we set it up, or when I set it up, I left it at private. So note to Kat, it's gonna be public. So yeah, thank you. We see the comments right now. So let's start again. So thank you, everybody. Today, we're gonna do. Oh, if you didn't join last week's live, I will link it all later again in the description section. All the playlists and videos. If you check last week's one, Amy started it. She did slides. So we are doing slides today. We're gonna share with you our picks of the perfect bag. And I was saying earlier that the perfect bag really depends on your own your own tolerance level. Like, what do you think is perfect? Amy might be like, this is perfect. To me, it's like, no, not really. And vice versa. So I'm gonna let Amy start. I'm going to share my screen. Let me just put both of us here first. And yeah, let's do this. All right.
Awesome. Okay, so basically I'm sure I'm not the only one. I'm sure Kat gets these kinds of questions often, is how do you check for flaws, or how do you check that your bag is perfect when you buy it, right? That's what we mean by perfect bag. So one of the things that I always check, and I mentioned it in one of our Q&As or live stream in the past, but I wanted to make it official. Like, this is our whole like official sort of segment about it. One thing that I always check is symmetry or uniformity. So in a bag, for example, if you can look at my slide, or you can just imagine it, but basically when you look at like the monogramming, is it cut exactly at where the little edge of the flower here and the edge of the flower here also? Or is the bottom kind of aligned? Because here there's two canvases. There's like this canvas and this canvas. Are they more or less kind of aligned? And then when you look at, let's say, a Chanel flap, are the quilts lining up from top to bottom? Because then you have the flap quilt and then you have the bottom quilt from the body of the bag. So things like that. Is it centered? Is your CC centered in the middle of your bag? Are the edges straight? So these are the kinds of things that I always look, the symmetry of your bag. So obviously within reason, you don't want to like measure to the millimeter, but you know, if you look at it from, you know, a close up, you're examining it, and it looks not too off, or it looks, you know, it's because they always say, right, it's handmade. But you know, as long as it's not like completely off-putting, then to me that's symmetry. So that's one of the first things that I always check when I'm presented with a bag that I'm about to purchase. Uniformity. Now, the second thing that I check, sometimes it's not really first, second, I just check all of these things at the same time, but second thing to keep in mind for myself is if there's any major flaws. Because it can happen. Sometimes when you shop for a brand new bag, they can give you the floor model to look at, or maybe that's their last one, or maybe it just so happened that there is some sort of defect on that one. So I always look for things like pop stitches, whether there's any scratches, marks on the hardware, on the leather, on the canvas. If the strap has anything wrong with it, because a lot of times we look at the bag, but we forget about the strap also. So is there anything wrong with the strap? Does it twist too much and does not retwist the right way? For LV, for example, you may want to also look at the glazing. Is it all uniform everywhere? Of course, all those things are handmade and they hand paint the glazing. So glazing is kind of almost like a glue in a way, but it dries like a paint. So as long as it's more or less uniform and not like missing a big chunk on one side, those kinds of things are things that I always check, major flaws. And then if there's anything that really doesn't sit right to you, ask for a second one if they have one. If they have another one, compare and just choose the best one. Because I do think that they sometimes have little things, but they're sometimes acceptable and sometimes they're not. So always compare a few if you're able to. With Chanel, it's a little harder. They don't always have stock, but with LV, actually LV it's getting hard too, but it used to be a little bit easier. So those are the things that I would check also. And lastly, for me, it's not so much a flaw or even like anything symmetry related, but is the bag even suitable for you in a way? And one way of knowing is that when you're considering a bag, so right before you purchase it, but you've been considering that bag for a while, right? But when you see it in person, it could be totally different from what you ever thought, right, in person. So try to put a few things in it, especially your essentials. Of course, do it with care, because I don't know about you, but I hate to be the one, receiving a bag that's been, like really tried heavily at the store and like people did not care about it. They just as if it was theirs, or I don't know how to explain it, but sometimes I just see, or maybe the best example is if you bought something, you brought it home, and then you tried a bunch of times, put a bunch of things in it, but you were not careful, and then you returned it. Would you really want to buy a bag like that? So obviously do it with care, but do try to put your most essential things. So for me, it's always a phone, my card holder, keys, lip balm, hand sanitizer, that type of thing. If it fits those and there's extra space for whatever extra, then that's a bonus. So for me, that's a big thing to always consider, because you might be always thinking that a bag, you really want it, but when you see it in person, it's so much smaller than you thought, or so much bigger than you thought. So always do your best at trying things out inside. So that's my last tip. And I think,
Awesome. Okay, so for me, I've got 3 tips as well. This is something that is how the bag is designed and the materials that they use the bag for. Sometimes you feel, oh, the bag is so soft and plush. But when you actually start to handle the bag, you realize that maybe the design is a little too strong for the material that they're making. So I'm just using my niece BB here. It's not that I'm saying it's a flaw, and it doesn't really bother me, but just an example that I had is that when I put my things inside and I lift it up, this is something that I noticed. It's stretched, but is it overstretched? Is it something that I can accept? Does it get severely out of shape, or just a little bit? To me, this is just a little bit. And where the bag is being pulled, could it be a future sign of wear and tear? So these are things that, you have to actually go to the store and try the bag, and not when the bag is stuffed with just the bubble paper and all that. It's something that they'll always ask you, put some of your stuff inside, right? So when you want to buy a very expensive bag, whether it's this toiletry or other, leather bags, try and put the things that you would put inside, like what Amy said, suitability, right? Put the things that you want, and then feel the bag, really try the bag, hold it a little bit, because things like that may bother people and say, oh, that's not really nice. It doesn't really look that nice. But this is a toiletry, but I'm just using this as an example. I have other bags that I have tried, and when I'm wearing it across my body, it's severely out of shape. So to me, that's not perfect. So that's point 4, tip 4. Okay, so this is something very specific, and usually it happens for bags with a crossbody or a longer strap. So these are just some examples, and I actually have the Celine bag. Now, I think another example of this would be the Pochette Matisse, that I actually don't have it. So where the strap is placed, as you can see, there is some portions where I don't think this is like a design flaw, but it's just, the way it's designed, right? But do take a look at it, because where it's placed, where the hook is placed, where the hardware or maybe the leather would rub against, it may rub the bag a little bit too often, and the sections where it touches, that's gonna create wear and tear. So the example that you see on my Cannes bag, honestly, it's not a big deal for that. So it doesn't bother me because the bag is so small, it's so light. This friction is possibly 20% out of the time that I'm wearing it. But honestly, for my Celine bag, after using it for a while, there was some wear and tear, or basically glazing coming off where the strap constantly rubbed the corner of the bag. So things like that, do pay attention to it, because over time, especially paying so much for a bag, it will cause constant friction, right? Okay, so minor flaws. These to me are minor flaws, because really every bag, because it's handmade, will have something that is, you know, not perfect. But that's the beauty of it, because it's handmade, right? But do check things like the smoothness, the stitching, the finishing. Can you actually really accept it? So a lot of bags nowadays come. This is not a bag. This is some jacket. But a lot of bags come with double zips, and with double zips, you have an extra thing to consider, right? So do, play around with the bag. Make sure they're really smooth, especially the double slider, because when they connect, sometimes, it's just not perfect enough. Now, this is obviously a very a very awful picture of stitching, that's coming off around the zip, but actually really pay close attention to the material around the zip. It may not be as severe as that, but it could be just a little bit of threading that's coming out that maybe the first few times you don't see it, but the more you open and close the zip, that's where the thread comes out. And I have experienced this, and it does, cause the zip to get, a little rough and just not, just not perfect enough. Now, this is the finishing. So I tried to get a closer picture, but my camera would not want to zoom in any closer. So the finishing of this this is from my multi pochette. Now, at the end of this, the zip here, now this is a very common thing. So one thing is, how big is the hole? There's something that you might want to look at for some of these pouches. I've seen some where the hole is so big that you go like, I don't really like that. It could be a perfect bag. For this, to me, it's pretty acceptable. LV does a pretty good thing about finishing the zip. Like right here, they do glaze it as well. But I've seen some pieces that maybe they forgot to glaze it or they forgot to finish it. Then it just feels like a regular zip, not a luxury zip, So little things like that. Actually, I didn't want to use it as a flaw, but it's just, I couldn't find the right word. So that's just called flaw. And finally, I call this the corner turn. So bags that have a squarish shape. So bags pouches that are just a straight zip. That's usually, the issue is smoothness. If you're okay with waxing it a bit of thread. But bags that have these kind of shapes, I have my Valisette BB. This section here, that corner turn, I've tried bags that are amazingly smooth at the corner turn. But there are some bags that when you reach there, you're like, struggling, to get it around that corner. To me, that could be a problem in the future. But again, can you accept it? It's just that, it's like slight of a drift, you gotta like push it a little bit, then that's absolutely fine. But these are the little things that, you're paying such high premiums for your bag. If you feel like, I don't want to disturb the essay, so particular, you should be, because it's supposed to be a perfect purchase. Okay, so that is our little PowerPoint sharing. Let me just stop that and let me get back here.
Hope that you guys enjoyed it. But yeah, what Kat was saying about the zip also, sometimes they also sew maybe the canvas too close to the zip, and then it's very tight and very hard to zip. Because that, I think, happened on the Palm Springs Mini. Do you guys remember? I think some of the Palm Springs, they were really close. Like the canvas was very close to the, maybe it was like, not the part that comes out, but like the part that's like around the bag.
So like it's like a corner, right? So it's rubbing. So that's another thing, right?
So it's always good to try the zips, all the zips, and make sure that they are not easily stuck. It's not so much about the teeth, because the teeth you can sometimes wax it and it's okay, but like it's just that sometimes they sew it too close to the teeth, right? And then it gets stuck all the time.
So zips, I was just using zips as an example, but not every bag has zips, right?
Yeah.
So you got some magnets, you've got buttons, you got things like that. So every single, little part you should be paying attention to it. And it doesn't matter. Sometimes we are a bit shy, because we're standing there at the bag. We're like, check this, check that. And then the essay is just staring at you like, oh my God, this auntie. Don't care because it's your perfect bag. So anyway, yeah. Wow, we made really good time. 15 minutes. So Slide seems to be very, very good for us. Keeps us in check.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can see I put a little note there. If you have a bunch of questions or a question for us, put a bunch of question marks at the front so that I can pull it forward. So I'm just going to scroll up right now and I'm going to see your questions. And wow, I see a lot of comments. Well, we've got 90 people here.
Amazing.
Yeah, really awesome.
Yeah, the technical error was so strange, but hey, the more it happens, the more we'll know what to do next time. So
true. We gotta figure out all these errors, right? Oh, okay. So we've got a question from Shanna. Let me just pull this over. In line with picking the perfect bag, what if one had to put an order with payment to the bag and then it's not perfect, like it looks odd? Okay. Amy, why don't you take this first?
So this actually happens to me because I have a lot of viewers from the USA, but those that are in Canada or even Asia would know. For Chanel, for example, there's no return. And sometimes if your essay is able to put aside something for you or maybe reserve something for you and you already put a payment down or even just paid for it and you're just going to go pick it up and crossing your fingers that there's no flaw. Sometimes there's more flaws than you wish. In that case, I guess that's the thing. That's the kind of decisions that you have to make for yourself. Are you okay? Are you gonna be okay with receiving a credit because there's no return, right? So you either just receive a credit and then just use that credit for the future for another bag, or wait for the same bag for the future, or you just don't take that chance. So I did that a few times. I basically just there's a few times I guess for like minis, because minis are so hard to get. Then I just tell my if she was able to put it aside for me for whatever miracle reason, because usually minis they don't allow, then I would say, yeah, put it on my credit card. I'll come pick it up. But then if it turns out to have a flaw, then I'm pretty much out $4,000, right? Not out, but like, I either have to get a credit back or accept the bag or get a credit and wait for another one. So it happens. So it's more a judgment call, more so than because you can't do anything about the bag if they only have the one and they don't have a replacement for you. So it's more like your own judgment, whether you're willing to take the risk in a way. Yeah.
I think Chanel's policy is really strict.
Yeah.
And they do it in Singapore as well, and also in Malaysia, that if you want a bag, you put a deposit and basically that's it. Like your money is gone. It's given to Chanel. But it doesn't mean you have to take the bag,
Exactly.
They still allow, like if you go to the store, they will say, oh, you can still see it. But they say, will I get my money back in the credit card? They'll be like, no, it's gone. You get store credit. And they never say like you have to pay and you have to buy within like a month. I think the store credit is quite long. So Chanel is strict. I don't know about Hermes. I don't think you will have such store policies. But LV's store policy for this kind of credit is pretty good. I've had items that I put on my credit card to order, and if it comes and it's not perfect, they refund me immediately. I get my money back into my credit card. So that's the awesome thing, that I don't have to take the bag from LV. But I have this. I was chatting with you, right, Amy? I'm saying that I'm not so. I don't know. I'm not so. What's the right word? Like, it's not that I don't favor a good return policy. I'm just very concerned about this. But maybe one day we'll talk about this kind of return policy in another live. Because return policies are, there's good. And there's some really bad things that can happen with return policies. Okay, let's got another question from Lillian. Scored the Hermes 2020 online. What are our thoughts on it? It's 10K. Wow. Okay, so I think the 2020 bag is the one that looks It's the new one that looks like a slouchy version of a laptop bag, right? A little bit like a toolbox, a little laptop, a little bit of Birkin. Kind of like it actually. I like that very casual look. It's a different take on many of the Hermes bags. Is it worth 10,000 USD? Oh, this one is like
I don't have that bag, so I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. It's very luxurious though, and I've seen people on Instagram carrying it. It is definitely a different vibe from the usual Birkin Kelly. You know, if you're going for that um, understated look, nobody knows this bag. It's something for your own. You know, I think the price. You can't really put a price on that. You love it, and you love it. But yeah, I haven't seen it in real life actually. So, but you know, you can tell us next week. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think for me, it's more like, are you anxious? Is it because is it one of your first Hermes bags? I wonder, or is it just because you feel guilty because you've been buying a few things lately? I guess is it more a personal question, or is it more like you're wondering if it's really worth that type of money? I guess I'm just wondering what type of question this is really. But yeah, personally, I don't know the bag, so sorry about that. I can't help with whether it's worth it, worth the money.
Yeah.
But if it's about guilt or just feeling anxious because you feel like you overspent, that's something that I guess you can work on personally, because sometimes it is a sticker shock, right? When you buy something really expensive, it takes a little while to accept it and to be okay with the idea. And it's totally normal, I think. Yeah.
True. Agree. Okay, this one. Ambiguous flow. Amy, that's for you.
So so yes, I did private a few videos and I'm gonna
Hang
talk
on,
about it.
1 second. I've got a phone call. I'm not sure why.
Oh.
Oh wait, sorry. Okay.
So
what do you
yeah,
look
I
like?
did because I was going through all my playlists and I was doing some housekeeping, and then basically I'm going to be redoing a bunch of different videos. There's a lot of older videos that I wanted to redo as well. So I went ahead and deleted a lot of older videos, and I'm going to be redoing a lot of videos in the future. So you're going to see it come back, if that makes sense. So sorry about that it happened. But I'm doing a lot of housekeeping on my channel. I don't know if you've noticed, but I recently changed the banner on my channel. I'm also taking a few courses. It's kind of like online courses, just to like it kind of helps you with creating content. So I'm doing a bit of changes here and there. I don't know if you guys are noticing these things, and I'm also cleaning up a lot of older videos. So that's the reason why. So hope you guys don't mind that it happened.
Okay, so just before we keep going, let me explain to you what's happening. By the way, as I think from the last video, I said I'm in a different background. For those who don't know, I'm actually in quarantine again. I'm back in Singapore. I'm in quarantine part 2. So this quarantine that I am in right now in Singapore, they're a little bit more strict to check on me, whether I'm at home, either in the hotel or I'm outside. So I get calls throughout the day. So if I get some calls, I really apologize. Sometimes I get calls on my phone. I get calls in the hotel room because they want to make sure that I'm not running out from quarantine. And I think I get them about 5 or 6 times a day. It's so I might get a few during this whole live stream. So I apologize. Okay, let me get another question. Yeah, they just
But
called
it's
me
weird
again.
that they call your phone and like you could just lie that you're there. No?
Oh no, they called the hotel, the room.
Oh, I see.
So I
Okay,
brought
okay.
it close to me because
Makes
like
sense now. Yeah.
So I'm just waiting for the guy to come knocking at my door like, hi, I'm doing a check. All right, I got a question from Mimi. I bought the LV double zip pochette and found one of the stitch showing one of the sides and the rest are hidden. Is it common? So one of the stitches on one side and the rest are hidden. I don't have the double pochette.
Do you mean something like around the very tight spaces and then it's showing the stitches underneath? Is that what you mean?
Mm.
Because I know, I don't want to say that it's common if that's what you mean. Right now, there's nothing on this one, so I can't show you. But let's see if I can show you on one of these. No, you can't see anything. But I think I know what you mean. So sometimes when they have these pressure points, like where the seam is really tight and it's turned, because like the seam is underneath, right? They just turn the back inside out when they're done sewing. So where there is a lot of tension or a lot of tightness, then the seams or the stitches can kind of show. Like you can see the stitch and the stitch holes. I think that's what you mean. It's normal, but to a certain extent. Like if it's so tight that you see like the holes breaking and almost like tearing apart, then maybe that's not so good. But I have bags that do show that, and they never come apart. So it kind of depends. It's so hard for me to tell you whether it's normal by not seeing the actual item, but some are okay and some are not. I don't know. Do you know what I mean, Kat?
Yeah, I think I understand. So
Yeah.
like if you open it, you can because the stitching is just tight, and some is just a little bit not tight.
Yeah. Like I think my one of my Coco handles shows that. I can maybe try to grab it and see if I can show you. But the thing is, it's fine because it's just tight because it's turned upside down, like it's turned outside in, right? And you're seeing the stitch holes, and that's the pressure point. But it hasn't unraveled or anything like that.
I think that's the main point. Like,
Yeah.
does it unravel? Is it so is it loose that it might come apart?
Or more so if it's a bag that tends to put a lot of weight in that pressure point, then it might like the canvas itself can kind of tear apart a little bit where the stitch holes are. I think that's what she means.
Yeah.
But it's not abnormal in most cases, but it can be abnormal if it's too severe. That's what I'm trying to say.
Good answer. Okay, that helps you. Very smart. Do you find the Coco handle slips off your shoulder easily, Amy? Any cons?
Yes. Thinking about getting the small size. So yes, you're absolutely right, which is the reason why I tend to wear my Coco handles in the summer. Because in the summer, I'm either wearing a thin t-shirt or I'm like bare shoulder, and the shoulder strap, which is that the leather stop here, it will kind of like stick to my skin more. Whereas in the winter, when I have a big coat, it tends to slip off. I think because the bag itself is kind of light, and if there's not enough weight, like unless there's a lot of weight and your shoulders are square, then it will stay more put. But because this bag tends to be lighter, it tends to slip off a little easier. So I do think that maybe the small size will actually be better, because the small size you can also crossbody. And I have tried my friend's small size one. I think she crossbodies it because of that reason, especially in the winter. But in the summer, I never have an issue with it, which is why I tend to wear the Coco handle in the summer more. Or if I'm just wearing a thin layer, then I can control it a bit better. But yeah, it's true.
So that's mini, or that's small?
That's
the one that you had.
Well, that's the mini, but now they call it small in some countries. So, but it's the smallest size. This is the smallest size. So the size up is almost like a jumbo size bag, but then they used to call it small, and now it's the medium. It's very confusing.
Stephanie, have you seen a Chanel bag, mostly the classic flap, slightly crooked at the front flap as it closes?
I think you wanted to talk about that, right, Kat?
Okay, yep, exactly. Actually, one of my slides, I was having a chat with Amy last week, was to share this exact. I don't know if y'all can say a better word than flaw. I just feel flaw sounds so flourish, so bad. It's like when the bag, if you look at it straight, when it's closed, maybe the front flap is slightly tilted. It's, which I think what you're saying is slightly crooked, right? So
I'm gonna
Amy,
force it, but it's not really my bag is fine, but I'm gonna force it. Like if I pull this down, then it looks then it looks wonky, right?
Yeah, that's wonky. So
Yeah.
some bags I have seen, and it could be the material, it could be maybe where the latch is pulling the bag. So maybe when they folded it, it was okay. But once it locks in, it just gets pulled a little bit. So again, depends on whether you can accept it, because one thing, it is a leather bag. And over time, the leather will soften. And actually, I've seen it, could it go away? Or maybe it's so slight that honestly, no normal person would realize it. It's so slight that because you are a bag lover, that you look at every single thing, you're like, 1 millimeter off. It might be nothing because it is a leather bag, or if it's a leather bag, it will soften and it might not be a problem in like a month or a week. But yes, the answer is yes, I have seen it. Okay, Joyce. You forgot to mention bags that have folded corners. Maybe wear and tear from manufacturing errors on how it's folded.
I think I
Not
know.
sure what you mean.
I think I know what Joyce means, especially the ones that are folded and it's pointy, like corners that are point. Like this one is completely fine because it's rounded and it's all like. Well, I feel like this one is fine, but there are bags where like it's a sharp corner, like where it's folded.
Yes, I've seen
So
those.
those ones, I think that's what Joyce means. Those ones, it's not like a flaw when you buy it because there's nothing wrong with it yet, but it can easily produce wear and tear in that corner over time because it's just the nature of it. It's like such a sharp corner, right? Even if you buy leather with sharp corners, that can happen easily too, which is the reason why you have to baby it a bit more.
Yeah.
But then
yeah.
people don't technically baby canvas bags as much as their leather bags, right? So it will show wear and tear faster. I can't remember the style of the bag now, but I have it in my head, like the LV one with the sharp corners. There's quite a few of them actually.
Quite a few, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, this one is for both of us, from Ivy. Both of you, which one for a weekend bag? Gabrielle small or mini reissue? Oh, I'll let you go first.
I think Gabrielle small. For me, like I have the reissue and I love mine because it's so special and it's a special print. And it's from a special collection. But between the two bags and between the like which one I find more user friendly and I just like more personally is the Gabrielle. I really do like the Gabrielle a lot. So I choose the Gabrielle.
Me too. I don't have the Gabrielle. I don't have it.
Oh, no.
I mean, but it's something that I think I just posted on my Instagram today. I'm like, well, we should be getting the Gabrielle back.
Yeah.
For me, the mini reissue, I think it would be a great weekend bag as well. But there's something about the Gabrielle that is just, I don't know, it's so unique. The chains are, you can dress it up. You can just look so cool. I'm trying to look cool. And it's a fun bag. Mini reissue is beautiful, but it's just, I don't want to say this for all the mini reissue people, but it's just another flat bag. It's very typical shape, beautiful still, great size, everything. But there's something like when you see a Gabrielle, like, oh, Gabrielle, it's unique, right? So it's unique. So if I had to choose, I'll be getting the Gabrielle back.
Exactly. And there's more height in the Gabrielle too, which I really like.
True. All right, this one. Oh, must be for me, huh? How do I prevent my
From turning moldy?
Oh, okay. So, mold in this country, whether it's Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, anywhere in this tropical part of the world, is really hard because humidity levels here are 365 days. And when it's monsoon, it's just even worse. I think if you're home, for me, I use dehumidifier packs. I also have a dehumidifier as well in the house. And I take out my bags to air, because using dehumidifier packs as well as a dehumidifier is too drying for leather bags. it's also a problem because then you get cracked leathers. You might not get it moldy, but you're getting cracked. So actually, having leather bags in this climate, you need to be more hardworking. When you use your bag, please don't store it straight away. Wipe it down. You could wipe it down with just, just anything that will take away the oils, especially from the hand, from if you're wearing a shoulder strap, the leather part here, the handles. Just give it a wipe, but don't store it immediately. Leave it outside to, get away the moisture, because that moisture is going to create mold. So keep it outside for a day or two. Then when you store it, some people say don't store it in boxes or store them in the dust bag or store them outright. Really depends on the humidity of your home. Because if your home, like for me, my house is very humid. It's like just so stuffy that if I don't keep it in the box, it will get moldy. So for me personally, I keep my bags in the box. But it's not good to keep leather bags in a box. So I'm very hardworking to take my bags out almost every week. So right now that I'm stuck in quarantine, 3 months away from my bags, I'm stressed.
Oh, no.
Telling my husband, come on, open my box, everything. But yeah, I take them out every 1 to 2 weeks. I let them air, I let them breathe like skin. So, that's the few ways to prevent it from getting moldy. Moldy happens when the dirt from your hand touches the bag and you store it straight away. So you need to be able to wipe away the bacteria and then store the bag. But don't store it so long that it'll crack. So yeah, it's hard. We
It's
love
so
our leather
hard. I can't
bags, but
imagine having that
it's
problem.
that's why the way I always, when I was in Australia, I left a pack of bread outside, and for like 2 weeks, it didn't get moldy. It was like, how long have we had this bread outside? Is it still edible? In here, we keep the bread out for 3 days. It's green. Okay, so
Mm.
that's just crazy. So imagine bags, right?
Mhm.
Okay, Patricia, what are the tips on purchasing pre-loved bags? Only photos given. Which part should we ask? Hard to test even if there are flaws.
Yeah.
Amy, can you go?
As many photos as you can. So of course the general photos, so general front, back, side, bottom, and then specific photos. So depending on the bag, right? So depending on the bag, always ask for corner photos. So corners of the entire bag, and wherever there's pressure points. So sometimes the straps, depending on how the straps are hooked onto the bag, those can be pressure points. Hardware. So because you want to see if there's any scratches or major tarnishing. And a lot of people forget the inside, and inside can be really hard to take pictures. So just if they can't take those pictures, ask for the condition of the inside. Of course, verbal description is also really important, right? So when you buy the bag and you receive it and it's not as described, then hopefully you have buyer's protection. Depending on how you paid for it, then you can return it. So as many photos as possible. Oh, and of course, where the serial numbers are. Those ones you also want to have photos of those, clear photos of those, so that you can also get it authenticated. But if you're just looking for flaws and whatnot, yeah, general pictures and then very specific pictures, always. So I don't know, for this bag, for example, because it's right beside me, just corners, because this bag is, if you're not careful, corner wear is the number one place to go, right? Because these are sharper corners. Hardware, these places, and maybe even like these places, because these can be like the pressure points. And then for this bag, if you open it a lot, wear and tear wise, there's creases here. So maybe you want to know about that or ask about that. So things like that. It's challenging because it depends on the bag too. And buying pre-love is not easy, which is why it's always good to buy it from reputable places, which we always say, always buy from the reputable places, so that usually they already provide so many photos and they already give you, like, you can zoom in and then see all the details and the flaws or defects. Hopefully they also described it in the verbal section. So that's what I would do.
I don't buy pre-loved very often, but one of the things on top of asking for the photos, I mean, when you ask for the photos, is also to get a sense of the seller. Like,
Yeah.
are they willing to give you the photos? Because if they're like, you want to buy, you buy. Then no bag is worth it, because sometimes you don't know, right? You want to be 100% sure. So the seller should be also very willing to give you. So that kind of like gut feeling from not just the photos, just instinctively, because it will also affect whether if there are any flaws when you receive it. How is the seller going? How's the relationship between you and the seller to get your money back if you're not satisfied? So even as you're asking for the photos, that willingness of the seller is also something to pay attention to, right? So okay, here's a question. I haven't had this, so I'm going to leave it to Amy. This is about glazing issues for LV's melting issue. I've never had this.
So yours has melted. Okay. So see, my problem is slightly different. So I had the Pochette Mixes, but I had the very first generation because I bought it when it was first released in 2013. So back then, even the bag itself was more structured, and the canvas itself was also more. It was very rigid. It was very stiff. Whereas the newer versions, the canvas is very soft, and so I feel like even the glazing that they used on it is a little bit more malleable, which is, I don't know if it's good or bad, but then I hear that now glazing can melt, which actually never happened to me. For me, the glazing just peeled off, especially where the strap would rub off, where Kat was showing you on her slide, where the strap and the bag itself was rubbing. So they exchanged it for you. Exactly. That's what happened to me too. They fixed it, but I kept wearing it because for me, that's what a bag is for, right? So it happened again. The glazing started peeling off again. And then by the third time, they just told me that we can do it one more time, but that's it. Or you choose something else. We'll just, we're basically offering you a credit. Just choose something else if you want, but we can't keep doing it. And in a way, it's kind of like them not wanting to fix it constantly. And I think at that point, it was obviously a known issue. So they were taking back a lot of the Pochette Mixes. So I would keep using it, because if it happens again, you definitely want to bring it back again. And either you move on from that bag, hopefully they'll help you with, offering you something else as an alternative. As long as you're willing to get it, I guess, because sometimes you like the bag style so much you don't want to choose something else. But that's what that's what I ended up doing. I chose to get the Neverfull instead, and I got the World Tour one. So that's what happened to me. But I would keep using it, just because if you don't use it, you don't know if it'll happen again, right? So
True.
that's what I would do. What would you do, Kat?
If I had glazing issues and I got a new bag, I would do exactly what you do. Just keep using the bag. And if the same issue happens again, then I have, proof to go back to LB, like, dudes, we're not, this bag is me, we don't work, and then we'll just change for a new one. But if you don't use it, then when you do use it, it might be a bit too late, because then they might say that, well, you've been using it for 2 years, but they won't know if you've been keeping it, right? So better to use it right now since you've got a new one.
Or you can sell it yourself since you just exchanged it and it's brand new.
Yep. Okay, I think this is for me. Bunga asking me if I had returned my Gucci Marmont Super Mini and you're thinking about buying it in white. Okay, I didn't return this. I actually really like the Super Mini. So I know me and Gucci, we're not friends, but I did like the Marmont. Like, I thought, okay, it's kind of cute. The heart shape at the back was, not my favorite. But in the Super Mini, and I shared it, I said it kind of works because it's such a toy bag. It's like this big. Then the heart was like this big. So it's okay. It was acceptable. And I did enjoy it. I think Gucci was the first to come out. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. To come out with such a small little bag. And it could fit my phone, it could fit a little bit of cash. I like the fact that I could take off the strap and everything. It's a pretty, it's a pretty functional little thing. Go out. I actually sold it last year. It was one of the bags that I took to take the money for a donation. So I sold a few luxury items, yeah, and donated it in the name of my good friend that time. So yeah, if you want to buy it, go. I think it's a reasonable price bag, and it's cute. It's cute. Yeah, I know. Me and Gucci know, but it's cute. Okay, I think I'm gonna put this up from Maria, and this is gonna answer the question on the 2020. So we personally, myself and A, have not really seen it in real life, but
Yeah.
it is, yeah, I do agree. It's like a younger style, more modern Kelly with a bit of the Birkin look with it. But yeah, the price is at the Birkin range. But if you love it, go for it. Okay, so this one.
I was just looking at the
Hermes.
pictures. Now I know which one it is.
Yeah, right. It's kind of like chubby. It's like a chubby Kelly, I don't know. It's like
It's like a slouchy Kelly but the flap is like square. It's like a not square, a rectangle. It's interesting.
yeah, it's interesting. I did a video. I think it was one of my Q&A videos, and I think somebody asked me about this bag, and I said, well, it's kind of cute, but it does remind me. The first time I looked at it, it looks like, if you see a lot of old Chinese movies, the gold tile. People will be like, what's this gold tile? Okay, so JJ, Hermes Gypsy, it's kind of cute. The flap knot. Oh, okay, hang on. Let's take a look at this Gypsy.
Yeah, me too. Because we're getting into a territory that I have no idea. Gypsy. Okay, got it.
Oh, gypsy or gypsy? Gypsy or gypsy? Is it different? Are they the same?
Yeah, but it just came out anyway. People call it. Oh, right. Is it the same? Because it kind of looks like
Evelyn? No, it doesn't look like Evelyn.
Yeah, it looks like an Evelyn, but with the
Kelly lock.
Exactly.
Everything looks like a Kelly now. It's okay. I've seen it. I think if it's the one Gypsy, which let's do this because this one. I think it's this one.
I don't mind it actually. I might like it in like a small, medium size. Not the big satchel one. I don't think. But
it's okay. Oh,
I guess I don't mind it, but I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would get it if it's just my first. See, I'm saying if it was just my first Hermes bag, but then I'm going straight to what I want. So I'm not really like playing the game. So it's like if I get an essay that will allow me to not play the game and go straight and offer me straight what I want, then I will take it. But if not, I'm not really gonna buy everything else like on the side. I just don't feel like it. I don't know. Unless I like it, like unless it was
unless you like it. Otherwise, just go for gold,
Yeah.
Because these bags from Hermes, all these, this, I don't know what's the right. There's no right word that can come across. These, the bags in the collection, they are just as expensive. I think the cheapest leather bag from Hermes, well, I don't know, but like the cheapest and kind of popular would be the Garden Party, which it's about 5,000 Singapore dollars, which is why people say, oh, this is like an entry level bag from Hermes. Okay, still very expensive, but it's functional. So if you want to go that way first, I think that's still acceptable. But then you got all the rest, which are like the Gypsy, the 24 by 24. They're all gorgeous bags, but the price point is really up there. Like, wow. So when you're comparing it it's a bit. Oh, this is I think for me, Jenny. Jenny's asking me who is calling me. So it's a little off topic. I think it is. I think Terra Systems are calling me again. I get calls. So yesterday I did my lunchtime live on my Instagram, and some of the calls, from the government to check whether I'm in this room are creepy. They're like,
Wow.
they'll just video conference me. They will call me, "Hi, Miss, I am Terra Systems. Can I get your IC number?" So like you get strange calls like this, and they're asking you for your ID. So I'm like, scammer. And then they'll ask me to turn on my camera, but I see nothing on my screen. It's like a black screen. And they ask me to show my room because they're trying to identify whether I'm still in the room.
Oh.
It's interesting.
Hi, Oksana.
Hi.
I was just watching Oksana's video earlier. Thoughts on LV Cruise? Oh, didn't we see it last time? The LV Cruise collection, or was it just me who saw it?
It just came out. I'm seeing pictures coming out this week.
Yeah,
it's the dice collect.
yes,
exactly. Like
exactly.
Not gaming, card collection.
Yeah.
And I watched a really funny video from Caitlin this morning, and she was going on and on about it. I had a good laugh. It was good. Watch Caitlin Pulowski. She did a video on this. I saw the bags. They're trying to compare it to the multicolor line. Like, oh, they're bringing back the multicolor. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of it. I think I have a real problem with bags and hearts.
Actually, I was thinking about that too.
Yeah. I have nothing against the heart shape, nothing against it. But I just feel like, when you're paying such a premium price on a bag, these kind of geometrical shapes, even if you put a star, because I love my stars, they kiddify the bag. And if it's a passion purchase, go right ahead. But otherwise, money can be spent on other more modern, classier, trendier looking bags. So yeah, this whole collection with hearts everywhere, it was a bit like, and I don't get it. Actually, I don't get the whole thought process of this resort collection. What about you, Amy?
Well, for me, it's very selective. I like, for example, the Speedy that had, the kind of like the multicolor look-alike on the side, but then, in the front and the back, but then on the side, there's this big, the
Deck
card,
of
like the
cards.
jack, whatever, I can't remember. That doesn't appeal to me. The only bag that kind of appealed to me was the Vanity case, because that one looked like there was, it was just the multicolor portion of it. Of course, there's the hearts all over the place too, but at least it's more proportionate, and there's not like another big thing on top of it. So that one was the only one that I liked. But like you said, there are better bags to buy. So unless you're really crazy about that print, I wouldn't go for it, basically.
Yeah, there are better bags. There's so many better bags.
Yeah.
Oh, this is for you, Amy. Serena's asking about your Fendi Montresor bag.
So the Fendi Montresor, right now I'm not using it because I have nowhere to go. And then right now I'm really trying to use my Mitzi pochette more because it's easy to wipe. Of course, I don't wipe the leather tab, but everything else I can wipe, right? So it's just so much easier when I bring my sanitizer, and I always bring, so I bring sanitizer, but I always bring a wet wipe that's like, that kills bacteria and whatever inside a Ziploc bag, and I put it in here. So I don't wear my leather bags because of that reason. And the only times that you maybe saw on my Instagram that I wore a leather bag recently is because I'm going to my in-laws house. I'm not going anywhere else. I'm literally going straight to my in-laws house, or maybe just picking up food and then going to my in-laws house. So like we're literally in and out of the car really quickly. But otherwise, I go for my trusty Mitzi pochette because it's wipeable. So before that, I guess when it was not the crazy times, no virus, I was using it quite a bit. I was using it mostly
Yeah.
in the summer because it's such a bright color, and I love using it with my flowy dresses, red dresses, white dresses. Um, it's really easy to use. So I still recommend it. I really think that of all Fendi bags, especially if you're going for like a more budget Fendi bag, the Mon Trésor is a really good one. It's just a little bucket bag, right? You can never go wrong with a bucket bag.
Totally. I need a bucket bag. Okay, 20A collection. Is this the one that we were talking with Clara about? Is that the one that we've been is
This
that
is the
20A?
current one.
The one with
Mutida.
the oh yes.
There
Yes.
are, but I can't get anything.
If y'all don't follow, I think Clara is here. Clara Zila. She just did a video this morning. There are some things in her in her reveal that the three of us have been talking. Gorgeous. It's
The
gorgeous.
jewelry line is amazing. This,
Yeah.
I mean, it's getting more and more expensive. So, like, when you see a piece of jewelry that's like simple but that's stunning, for me, those are the pieces to get. So, for me, the jewelry, I actually really like the tie-dye reissue. I like it, but I'm not gonna get one. I just like it. What
The
else?
rainbow.
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen some pictures going around already. It's
Yeah.
nice. I mean, on the app, it's not so great. Oh my goodness. I think they're calling me again. Look.
Oh,
All right, so
Oh.
hang on. I'm gonna put a question here and I'm gonna
okay.
give it to Amy. Hang on, let me just see.
Okay, so finding a medium classic flap on pre-love sites are selling for $500 less than retail. Do you think pre-love prices will lower? 7,100 is a lot for a brand new. Pre-love sites are selling for $500 less than retail. I don't know if that's a good saving, in my opinion, though. That's just my opinion, but I feel like if pre-love is you're only saving 500, unless it's like pre-love but brand new looking, literally just like from last season or even just from last year and hardly used, then yes, go for it. But otherwise, I still prefer buying retail just for the experience. And if you're just saving $500, I don't know if that's really worthwhile unless you cannot get a hold of that color or unless your store doesn't have any classic flaps in stock. And like, there could be exceptions, but I don't think that pre-love prices will go lower per se, not in the short term anyway, because the price increase just happened quite recently. And so they will catch up, right? Because once people start realizing that the retail is so expensive, they're all going to funnel towards the pre-love sites. And then when pre-love sites demand starts rising, then they're going to know to also increase their prices. So in the short term, I don't think the price will go down. In the long term, who knows? Things could change. But yeah, I agree. 7,100 is crazy. It's like 10,000 Canadian dollars. It's crazy. It's so crazy to buy a medium flap or any sort of classic flap nowadays. It's so crazy. But yeah, what do you think, Kat? Like $500 less for a pre-love? I don't know. I don't feel like it's a good deal.
Not a good deal at all, because
I would rather pay the extra and just get it new.
And let me tell you why we should pay the extra and get it new. $500 is not worth your stress and the risk of it might be being a fake bag, a super fake bag. $500 is it's a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money if you had to put yourself through that kind of risk. So unless it's half the price, then you'll be thinking, well, I can get it authenticated, yada, yada, yada. But $500, no, you can save $500 and get the whole retail experience, because now super fakes are no joke nowadays.
Although 50% off is very hard, Kat. You said half price. I was thinking, I don't know about that.
Well,
but if you save, like, in my opinion, if you save, like, if it's in such good condition, right? It's in such good condition. It's hardly used, and you save like I don't know, like 2,000 or even one. Maybe no
Nah,
tax.
not one. No, not one. Not one.
If you can get
Two.
it authenticated, like find a good authenticator and it's in such like pristine condition, then yes, give it a try. But for 500, really is not worth it. 500 is like, you can buy an SLG. Like it's just an SLG price, so that's not worth it. Yeah.
And we're all, we're all here watching this luxury live show because we are spending premium dollars. Okay, we're not spending at the $10 mark. We've already gone beyond normal, right? So we're talking, $500, and it's when I take this statement out, obviously to the real world, it's like, are you crazy? That's a lot of money. But in this luxury world, $500 is like pennies.
Yeah.
So really, when you take a step back, there is the risk of fakes, there's the risk of it being damaged and all these things. It's not worth it. I'm a hard bargainer, okay? I'm like 50%. Okay, this is for me. By the way, I swear, this people, they're like ringing my phone, but they're not picking up. So I don't know.
Oh.
Scammers. They might call
my
again.
God.
So I apologize up front if I have to switch over. Okay, so this is for me. How am I feeling about the mini reissue so far? Okay. I haven't used it. It's still sitting pretty in the box. And it's because I haven't gone out. I've been, at home, doing my work at home. I haven't brought it out. And if I'm going out, I'm bringing, both of our quarantine bags, which is the multi-pochette. And it's just sitting there. And it's not that I don't want to use it. It's just that the hassle of taking a leather bag out now, and in Malaysia, some places spray you down. So yeah, it's just the risk. I'm not using it yet, but it doesn't mean I don't like it. Every time I take it out from the box and I'm like, goodbye. Goodbye, not as in goodbye. Right. Noah's asking, what bags are you considering right now?
I feel like we got that question last week, didn't we?
Maybe our next live, we should put it up in slides.
We could.
Bags that we want, and then put it out into the universe.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I'll just quickly tell you. So Chanel 19 is definitely something that I want. From Chanel would be 19, Gabrielle. LV, I do want to get a leather bag from them. Like, I've never, I think so. Oh, many years ago, I had one leather bag, but actually I haven't had any leather bags that interest me. Something about their canvas I do like a lot more. But yeah, maybe one day I'll get a leather bag from LV. But these are the two Chanel bags that I really want.
And I agree, you should really get those. Like if you're gonna work on something, work on those.
Okay.
For me, Trendy CC, that's the only Chanel bag that I want right now. If I get it, it'll be like I feel pretty complete with my collection. LV, I don't have anything at the moment. So it depends on whatever new releases. And again, more towards the canvas. And that is because like my wish list is pretty empty right now. And that is because I'm shooting for the star. And the thing is, I said many times and several, I feel like every live stream we talk about this. I don't know how, but once I get it, if I get it, there's going to be quite a bit of change in my collection, I feel, because I somehow have to also fund it. And I wouldn't want to be too irresponsible. Right. So, yeah, it's kind of crazy. I'm in this like mode where I'm kind of calming down in like the LV and like all the other brands, even Chanel. I'm kind of calming down, and I only have one thing on the wish list because I am
working for the stars.
Yeah.
How much is it right now? Do you know?
I don't know, but a friend told me when she bought so just regular palladium, size 30 Birkin, Togo, so like basic lah, okay. Basic still really expensive. I think just under 13 plus tax, obviously. in Canada. That was back in February.
And might have
that's
a price
retail,
increase
but
coming on.
of course, usually it never really happens without any pre-spend. So hopefully just the pre-spend is not going to be too huge. Like I said, I don't know how it's going to happen because I don't really like I appreciate the brand and I appreciate history, craftsmanship, all of those things. And I like a few things, I do. But I also can't bring myself to like spend left and right and like a few thousand here, a few thousand there, just so that maybe one day they'll offer me one, right? So it really,
Can't they just accept that we just like bags? Just we don't like everything. We just like bags.
I do like a few things, but it's hard to spend like unless you go for their other stuff, like their house things, their home things, or I don't know, ready to wear. I'm not even nah.
Yeah, I know what you
We'll
mean.
see.
It's
I don't know
okay.
how.
This one from Tutti Frutti, perfect professional looking work bag if you need to carry a laptop. It's a good question. I guess it would be on the luxury end, right?
Yeah, I would just go briefcase. Like
Yeah.
I really like the LV briefcase. I don't know if Chanel has one. Don't think I remember, but maybe they do. I don't know. But I really like the Chanel briefcases. Like if you just look at the men's section, they usually have so many different ones and they're so well priced. Even Dior has them.
LV, tons. LV has as well. LV. Yeah, briefcase. Don't bother with the totes and all.
No. It's not going to last because your laptop is so compact and heavy. I don't know which laptop you use, but I assume at least a 13 to 15 inch MacBook Pro. That's at least 3 to 4 pounds, right? And then that's not the only thing you're going to bring. You're going to bring your mouse, you're going to bring your charger, you're going to bring like all these other things. It adds up and it's just going to keep moving and like smushing like the down right in the middle, the weight all in the middle, and it's not going to be comfortable.
Yeah. I mean, I've learned my lesson with luxury totes for a laptop bag. Trust me, you won't use it unless you don't care about your bag anymore because it's the amount of weight. It's like a ton of bricks into your leather bag, and when you lift it, so many things like like the slide that I showed just now. You see the pull at the handles, and then you see at the bottom, the base, it'll be like this sunken hole. And you go like, whoa, did I just spend like $5,000-$6,000 on a bag that I'm going to destroy with my laptop? Yeah, so and it's not going to be comfortable, right? It's going to be like, oh, not nice. So yeah, absolutely agree. Briefcase. They are made for the laptop. Okay, this is from Joyce. Is this moldy issue why pre-loved bags from Japan can smell?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Right?
But it could be. But sometimes it's also because it's been stored for a long time. So if you store a bag, maybe we don't use a bag as an example. If you store some of your shoes, like your leather shoes, in a cupboard for a long, long, long time, because it's skin, it will absorb whatever, wherever you keep the bag, the shoe in, right? If the cabinet is very, woody, you'll smell that on the shoe. So bags are the same because it's leather, right? So it absorbs the smell. Moldy could be an issue. I don't know if mold smells. I've never taken and smelled mold before, like cheese. But yeah, it could be. And actually, even for clothes, right? If you keep clothes in a cupboard for too long, even if it's not moldy, there's a old cupboard smell, right? Even clothes, it doesn't have to be leather bags, it doesn't have to be shoes. And maybe they've stored it for a long time and not stored well as well. That is why if you keep bags or shoes or clothes in a space for too long, you get a smell. So they actually need to rotate it out, in and out, in and out. But of course, if you're buying it from a seller, I don't think they will do that. Okay. Have either of you treated vachetta? If not, how long do you wait to use the bag? Sunbathe. Oh, this question. Okay, I can go first because mine is really straightforward. No, I've never treated my vaquera, and I have no idea how people sunbathe their vaquera.
Oh, it's really easy. That's what I do. You just leave it,
Mm.
yeah, like she said, just leave it by the window, or sometimes you don't even have to leave it by the window. So, but I guess maybe my experience will be different from yours, Kat. You know why? Because where you live is so humid, you have to put it in a box and you have to put the dehumidifier and the air out every once in a while. So you can't do what I do. So what I do is when I buy a brand new vachetta bag, I just leave it. I just leave it in the open. Like I just leave it, let's say on my shelf without the dust bag. And once in a while, I can bring it close to the window where there's kind of like indirect sunlight onto it so that it helps the patina go faster. So it just develops that honey color a little bit faster. So that's what she means by sunbathing, or like the process basically. That's
How
what
long
I
does it
do.
take?
Yeah. But for you, maybe it's different. You can't do that because it's so humid all year round, and you have to treat it different, like treat it as in like you have to take care of them differently. So yeah, short answer is I don't treat my bags either, but I do wait a while. And there's no really formula per se. It really depends on the bag. Sometimes when there's not that much vachetta, then I feel comfortable using it sooner. But if there's a lot, then I might suntan it, or just like leave it alone for a lot longer, like even like a whole month actually.
Wow.
So yeah, or sometimes I would still use it, but like I would use it for very briefly on a very sunny, bright day, like no chance of rain. And of course I'm careful, and then put it back and then leave it alone again for a while. So yeah, that's what I do.
I'm just trying to think back on my first Speedy bag, and I was telling my essay, I said, the day that I saw this beautiful first LV purchase in my entire life, I said, wow, gorgeous, but canvas with this white, stark white, vaquera. What did I do? Because I didn't know any better. I just took it out, grabbed it with my oily, sweaty palms, and we went woohoo. But now that I think back on it, is that so bad? We are such, I don't know, maybe there's this fear mongering,
It's true.
fear mongering of vaquera or vachetta. It's like, I think it's because we are also aware that we need to protect it. And we would, because we want to keep it pristine. But it just makes the experience of using the bag so challenging. I'm like, oh, sunbathe the bag, treat the vaquera. And I don't know, I'm very indifferent about it, because of course I would be horrified if I was caught in rain with it. But it's like, are we overprotective? I don't know. It's so hard, because you're supposed to love it, right? That's the beauty of it. Untreated leather is supposed to
Age.
age over time. But here we are, like, oh, spray it, apple guard. Grab it under the shirt, no rain.
No, actually, Kat, you made a great point, because my first vaqueta, but I say vachetta sometimes, but you guys know what I mean, is the pochette métisse, which has that piece on top, right? That's like the main one, because there's a little bit on the side too, but like it's mainly the piece on top. And like you, I did not know, and it was my first monogram bag, so I just used it. I just
loved it.
Yeah, I did not know, first of all, so I just started using it. And of course, when I brought it to Las Vegas, actually Las Vegas was okay. I had like one drop of something on it, so you could see a bit of shadow. But I brought it to Hong Kong as well, and in Hong Kong, of course, it would just start pouring out of nowhere, and it was like in the I want to say fall winter, I think. So sometimes it would just like all of a sudden it would pour, and I got poured on twice. Like it was soaked. Luckily, it was just like a little bit of the leather, right? The untreated leather. And I feel like sometimes when you don't care and you you like the whole thing is soaked. You just wait it out. Of course, at the beginning, it's gonna look a little bit dried up when it just dried up. But then you keep using it, your hands, your oils,
Yes.
and it was my
Yes.
most beautiful patina ever. That one.
Yes. I know. We YouTubers are fear mongers. We're like,
I'm not saying
protect
that you should do that to every bag because the push-up mixes only had a little bit, but it was still obvious. But it also turned out to be my most beautiful patina. I don't know how, but it was.
You have to use your bag. But I guess in Canada, like other countries, maybe that you just have rain and it's pretty dry.
Yeah.
The issue of it getting like dirty, moldy might not be there. For us, because it rains and then you've got moisture, humidity, and just bacteria everywhere, you just have to clean it. All right. And there's nothing, you just clean it and don't get like, put all kinds of chemicals on it. I'm actually quite against using stuff on the bag unless there's a stain or there's something that needs to be removed or things like that. Otherwise, leave the bag as it is, because it's like your skin, right? You don't put all kinds of crap on it, which I do, but you don't overdo it, because if you overdo it, you get all kinds of other problems. So anyway, this was a sidetrack. Don't like forget like oh, this is a good. We can answer this together for our next Chanel bag.
Retail.
Retail store. No more pre-loved.
Yeah. Well, the other reason is because there's not really that many good pre-loved stores here in Canada too. I feel like in the States you have a bit more option because Fashion File is so huge. And Fashion File is just one of them. But in Canada, the pre-loved sites are so like how do you say it? It's like there's nothing. There's nothing current. There's nothing that's in the condition or the exact bag that I want. So I pretty much don't have a choice, because if I were to buy pre-love from the States, especially right now, it doesn't make sense. The exchange rate is insanely high, and just the cost of taxes and duties just to import it makes no sense for me to buy it pre-love. It actually is cheaper to buy in the store. And I get the experience, and I get give my essay the same like the loyalty to my essay, that type of thing.
Yeah, pre-loved, nowadays it's expensive.
Yeah.
And it's, unless you're getting like bags that are like 20 years ago, that probably is vintage or old, then you get a really good deal. But those that are pretty current, they're expensive. Like some bags, I'm like, whoa, it's a few hundred, like just now, 500 cheaper. No, we're talking pennies right now in this luxury. Yeah, so no, from the store. Okay, I think this for me. Quarantine, yes, I'm in 14 day. Today is day 4. And no, this time, this whole quarantine is paid by a potential LV bag. So expensive, this quarantine. Sucks, but never mind. At least, we're contributing to the hotel industry. Kate, regarding judgment on bags, to prevent it, is it better to have a luxury watch instead or jewelry when you have met up with friends and relatives? Okay. Let me take this first. Amy, do you get it? Yeah. Well, go first.
The thing is, I don't own a luxury watch or jewelry. Like, I mean, does costume count? I would still wear it, but the thing is, I totally understand where you're coming from. There are, like, my family, they're not judgmental necessarily. It's more like they don't understand. So if I were to wear, say, like one of my fanciest Chanel bags over, they'd be like, oh, it's so nice. And then they might make like a comment like, not your, like along the lines of like, oh, you're so rich, but not exactly like that. It's more like, oh, it's so nice, and it's more just because they don't understand necessarily. Now, I don't let that affect me too much, but I also just I don't wear my most expensive bag, I guess. Like I guess I won't be wearing my Hermes bag to their house if I had one. But I'll wear my LV and I'll wear my mini flap. Like I'm totally comfortable wearing those. I don't know why. I just feel like maybe because they're smaller. And then LV, they own some LV too. So it really just boils down to the individual. And sometimes it also boils down to maybe even educating them. You don't have to tell them everything at once, but like a little bit here, a little bit there, catch up next time. And they end up understanding more and more, just kind of like how my mom was. She knew nothing about luxury. She still doesn't really know anything, but I keep telling her. And now she's fascinated, and she's happy when I buy something new and when I show something new on video. She's happy for me. So what about you, Kat?
I have a watch. I have some jewelry and bags. I think you yourself, Kate, you would know the kind of friends that you're going out with. You know, like some of them that you know they are maybe curious, then go all out. You know, it'll be a great topic of conversation. But if you know that maybe, you know, if you know that some of your friends are very they don't like it, you kind of know in your gut, right? You know whether they accept it or not. And in those situations, don't wear it. You know, you can wear it in other situations, other settings. So just, you know, pay attention to your surroundings, and in fact, don't wear anything. Like just go. You don't always have to wear something that's luxury, right? In those settings. But if you know that your friends are okay with it, some of them are even curious, and maybe some of them could be interested, then it doesn't matter. Bag, jewelry, watch. Yeah, that's how I feel. Like I can see some friends like they want to know, and I'm like, oh, let me bring my bag out. Okay, Padma, are both of you considering the trendy CC? And is it a formal bag? So we talked about this last week. In a way, yeah, we compared the trendy CC to your what was it? The mini Coco.
Yeah, I think everyone kind of compares the two because they're similar but not really. Like they're actually very different. I don't know if it's that formal, but it looks formal just because it has that briefcase look, I think. I actually don't think that it's formal at all. It's just a really nice bag.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a really, really attractive bag. And
I don't have enough coins.
More versatile than the Coco handle. The Coco handle is good because of the price point, and it's in caviar, so it's probably easier to take care of. So far, no wear on any of my Coco handle, right? So yeah, I don't know how to explain it. It's not so much about formal. I just find it very attractive. And I used to find it attractive too, but I was too scared of lambskin. So I never really considered it. But now I'm open to the idea.
You need it.
I have 2 lambskin bags now. So, three lambskin bags. Yeah.
See, you need it. You need it. I am not I would love, the word is considering, right? Yes, of course. I would consider getting it back into my collection, but it is one of those things that is like way down the line because I've had it before. So, and right now it's just so expensive. But Amy, you're gonna get it. Okay. Do we know if Chanel has had 6 key holder? Oh, I didn't know. Okay, this is. I didn't know they had a key holder.
They do.
They have one? Oh.
Yeah. It's very rare. You're right. They don't have it on their website. In fact, a lot of things are not on their website. But they do have it once in a while. It's luck in a way. And if you have an essay that can keep an eye out for you. So it's those two things. It's either you keep asking if they have one whenever you are in the store, or you have an essay that can keep an eye out for you.
So the other question was, do you think it's the best brand for a key holder? I've never even know that Chanel has one, but I kind of love my canvas piece.
I still have mine from 2013. It's still wearing really well. mind you, I don't know why, but like a lot of people who got their key holders later are having issues with the glazing, like peeling or cracking, whatever. Mine has split, but it's still there. The glazing is still there. So I think it's normal wear and tear for mine, basically. So it's unfortunate. It's almost like you can't. It's like whichever is the least worse. I think people go for Chanel because there's no glazing, right? And it's just finished leather, like sewn in. So if there's any wear and tear, it's more like the leather is wearing out, like the corner wears. Is that more acceptable than the glazing wear? It's kind of similar to me, in fact. Yeah, I prefer the canvas. I just like the canvas more.
Same, same. I
Yeah.
think when you know, when they say, you know, you want to protect your leather bags from keys and stuff like that, then now you store your keys in a leather piece. So canvas is what it is. It's hardy, you know. Same. I think I've had my canvas piece for maybe 5 years now, and it's same as yours. It's splitting because, well, I get in and out of my keys every single day,
Yeah.
several times.
Yeah.
And it, you know, the button's great. You know, obviously there are scratches and all, but that's the point, right? You want to make it work. It's one of those really cost per wear items.
Mm-hmm.
Where does Fendi rank in terms of brand, like the top three?
Ah. Huh. Interesting.
Not in the top three, then.
For me, for sure, Chanel first, LV second. Between Celine and Fendi, it's hard. See, I only own one Celine bag, but I actually like a lot of Celine bags. I own more Fendi bags because I think Fendi bags are less expensive than Celine bags, which is why I don't own them. And Fendi bags are a little bit more playful. Like I have a lot of like not a lot, but like I have 2 straps, I have a charm thing. So maybe Fendi is my third, yeah, maybe. But I actually really like Celine too. I really like it. Like the old Celine, not the new one.
Celine is more expensive, so it's because I think they use full leather, and you know, when you touch the bag, you can really feel the quality. But yeah, I'm not gonna rank it because I'm not familiar with Fendi brand. I don't have any Fendi. Yeah, I don't have any Fendi items except for a pair of sandals, which was actually like a, you know, random purchase. Okay, Spring Street. Is the one that you have?
Yeah. She's considering the Spring Street something holding her back, whether it's the patent leather or whether it's worth it. Does the bag kind... Huh?
Oh, is the bag the kind that you need to baby?
Oh, no. Well, the black one you don't have to baby. Okay, so the thing with patent leather, so it's any patent leather, not just LV, right? When it's a light color patent, then you have to baby it more because you always have to worry about not getting color transfer on it. When it's black, you don't see if there's any color transfer, you just don't see it. Ink can still print on patent though. So like newspaper, magazines, those things, you don't want it anywhere near your patent leather, that's for sure. But that's pretty easy to prevent because why would you have like a magazine right beside your bag, right? Unless you're holding it all together. Yeah, the bag, I mean, I haven't worn it a ton, but the couple times that I wore it, it was not very hard to, like I even wore it crossbody, it was fine. And also it has that handle. So I keep saying that, or maybe I haven't said that many times, or maybe I haven't said that enough. So I really like top handle bags now, not only because they're so pretty and like so easy to grab and go, but they really actually help you with wear and tear. Because when you can hold it by your hand, you're controlling it more. Like you can put it in front of you. You can like, you know, if someone is really close to you, you can kind of like, you know, just swing it the way that it avoids other people. Whereas if you have it on your shoulder, it might move around more. It rips around your jeans and things like that. So having a top handle, so for the Spring Street, having a top handle actually also helps with wear and tear over time. You'd be surprised. Patent leather is actually more durable than you think. The type of babying is different. Just no magazines. If it's a light color, don't rub it against your jeans or dark color clothing, that type of thing. It's not that
I got
bad.
one more tip for patent bags that I got from one of my previous live streams. Don't bring it to a place where there's confetti.
Oh. Who had that
Because
problem? I think I
apparently,
saw that.
yeah, apparently there was this once followed the live stream. She said that she brought her. It was the one that I was talking about, my nightmares with the luxury nightmares. She brought her patent bag for a wedding, and there was confetti.
Oh.
So having fun, everything. But when she came back, all the confetti got stuck on the patent bag, and just like newspaper and all,
Yeah,
you couldn't get it out. So confetti is dangerous.
yeah.
So something to add to that. Okay. Thoughts on adding a strap to the vanity case and use it as a bag? Water droplet. This is like my niece BB.
Yeah, it's kind of like your niece BB. I think it's okay. I don't know if I'll do it all the time, but I honestly wouldn't really even use that bag as a handbag. I mean, okay, I could use it as a handbag, but I would just do like a hand holding. I won't necessarily really need a strap. It's just too out of place. I don't know. It's different.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No. That's my first. I'm like, no, I won't, because it's a vanity case. I'm thinking of my niece BB, because when I bought it, the essay told me, said, a lot of people use it as a bag, and I was like, no. I told the essay, I said no, because the niece BB is it's huge. I mean, for me, right? I'm a pretty petite. I'm okay size, and it's like, and you want me to put a strap on it? I don't think it's built with a strap, but I've seen people carry it. I personally won't, because I have other bags to use, and I don't think it's the most convenient, when you unzip it and everything is just falling out, unless you're going to get a small one, maybe the nano. Okay, maybe the nano. Just
so the nano, you would put a strap, because to me, it's not about the size. It's more about it just looks out of place in a way. Like you're adding a strap artificially. Like I'll do it maybe like once or twice, but it's not something that I want to like keep doing all the time.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Like, I'll do it for fun, just to be, quirky and just for fun, but I won't buy it for the purpose of using it as a handbag. That's not how I would buy the bag. Like, I would buy the bag because it's cosmetic case and I love it like that. Change it to a bag, I'm like, oh. So that's how I would go about it. Okay, what's this? Linda. All right, Linda, asking about the Loewe, the balloon bucket bag. Girl, I've never owned a Loewe as well.
Me either. I think we should have had Clara in this session. She owns Loewe.
Come again next week, Linda. Copy and paste your question, because next week we've got a guest star coming in. Put this question again, but don't put hi Amy and Kat. Put hi Clara.
But actually, I have I don't own it. I don't own Loewe, but I have been looking around. I think if you like it, go for it, because it's one of those. It's like, it's not the Chanel's and it's not the LVs. It's kind of like everything else, right? If you like it, buy it. It's like a fun bag to have. It's just something different. Not everybody has one. It's just one of those. But I don't know exactly the one that she mentioned, because
the balloon.
But yeah.
This is like the failed luxury life. You should just call it like the LV, Chanel, Hermes show, because that's all we know. Okay, here's one from Snow. What do you think the quality of caviar on the cocoa handle so black in this season?
I haven't seen it in person. and I cannot comment on the quality. But
I'll be
I don't
right
know
back.
why
Oh,
I
looking for me.
personally don't like the So Black in the cocoa handle. Like I like it. I like the So Black in for other bags, but I don't know why I don't like it so much in the cocoa handle. Yeah. Sorry, I can't really comment on the quality. But usually I find that with the cocoa handle, the leather is it's actually fine because um okay, not commenting on the cocoa on the So Black, but just in general, I feel like because of the 3 cocoa handles I have, I feel like the cocoa caviar is more on the matte side, but it still has a sheen. So it's kind of not completely matte, so it's kind of in between, which I really like because it I don't know, it has been really durable so far, and yeah, pretty hard wearing so far. Nothing to complain about. So I just can't really comment on the exact same one that you're referring to. Did you have
Oh,
another call?
they came to the door.
Oh
and
my goodness.
it's crazy. So yeah, people, quarantine in Singapore is a serious thing. It's like nonstop. They're calling me, they're sending me SMSs. I apologize. You will go through this, type of live stream with us again
You
one
should
more
just
time.
tell them to join the live stream, then they
I
know that you're
know.
here.
Yeah, ICA, are you joining the live stream? Because but not today. Not this round. It was lunch.
Okay. That's why.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow. They're really good. They'll ring your door. They'll tell you delivery. It's kind of funny. Busy,
They're serious.
It's real serious. All right, here's another question. Oh, 50%. When we sell a bag, we try and get it as retail. That's true. Do you think we have a double standard when selling and buying?
Absolutely. I'm just kidding.
Of
It's
course.
true. But
Do you
which
wanna
is
sell
why
it
you
low?
have to, like, not you have to, but like, which is why it's unwise to buy something and then resell it right away. It can happen for certain bags, like the really sought after and everyone will pay a premium to get it. That can happen. But maybe a classic flap, not so much, because like you can just get it in the store, right? So yeah, I feel like it's something like, especially for classic flaps, it's more one of those situations where you've had the bag from before, you paid a more decent price because it was less expensive before, and then if you decide to resell it and it's still in quite good condition, then most likely you can probably get your money back. But you've had it all this time, right? So in a way, you kind of used it, you've enjoyed it, so it's more along the lines of that, I think. For maybe like for the very like the mini right now, the tie-dye rainbow mini, that one maybe people will pay a premium for it because it's like a hot item, right? So in that case it's okay, but yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
we got a
50% is hard.
Yeah, 50%. I know. We got a little super chat. I can't tell who is that from. Can you see it in here?
Bianca
Oh, thank you,
Fernandez.
Debbie.
Yay!
Thank you. Okay, yeah, I know it's hard. It's hard. It's double standard. I mean, you want to sell high, buy low. It's like shares. Okay.
Which is why it's not an investment. Buy the bags that
Yes.
you love, use it. And
Use
then
it.
if it just happens you don't love it anymore, then yeah, sell it. Let it go.
Let it go. Amy, which is your bag that you baby the most? Well, I'll answer this because I know. It's my camera case. I love that bag so much. Even though I've already damaged it, I don't want more damage on it. It's one of those bags that I'm like, wow, so nice. Yo, so nice. And it's lambskin. So I baby that bag quite a bit.
So I haven't babied that bag yet because I haven't worn it, but I feel like it would be the Lady Dior. Because it's such a light color lambskin too. And it's so pretty. Like literally it's like the prettiest bag that I own. It's so pretty.
Show it. Some eye candy for everyone.
Okay.
Go grab it. So now you can look at my room. So this is where I'm sitting. For everyone else who's wondering, I'm sitting on the floor with my. I made my bed for all of you. By the way, it didn't look like that. Okay, so Amy's back. Let me just bring her back on. Oh, look at that. Show your bag. Oh,
She's so pretty.
man.
I mean, you can see the reflection because I have all the lights blasted right now. It's like in my face because it's like, you know, it's dark outside, but look at her. She's so pretty. And she's so ladylike. Like the bag itself is so ladylike. How can you just can't, like, yeah, she's so beautiful. I feel like this would be my most babied bag now, especially because it's a light color and it's lambskin. But yeah, once I get to use her, maybe I will be less paranoid because I don't know my bag very well yet since I haven't used it. I have nowhere to go with it. And the day that I said that I would use it, like in my last, was it last live stream or the last live stream? It was raining, so I couldn't use it.
So
On my
is this
birthday,
bag,
it was raining.
is this turning you into a Dior girl?
I'm not gonna be like Caitlyn yet. She's hardcore. I mean, she just embossed two lady. She just
I know,
embossed
I
two
know, I
ladies.
know.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's
So if y'all don't know
beautiful,
Caitlyn Pulowski, she is YouTube's Dior. I think. Well, I'm
She
telling you that she is Dior queen. She has like, is it two or three? Two.
She has 3 Lady Dior's. She used to have the Dior book tote she sold. No,
No,
wait.
I think she's got 4 Lady
Oh
Dior's,
yeah,
girl.
she has 4 Lady Dior now because she just bought
4. So,
another one. Yeah, because she has the red one, the black embroidered, the mini,
yep.
and the new one.
And this,
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
that's 4. And
I don't even
then
have one. I need one. I need one. Okay. Dior is like over there.
oh yeah, you're so close. It's true. But yeah, I'm happy with one for now. I want to just use it. I can't even use it.
Oh, okay. Let me just go down. We've got, oh
But
man, we
I'm
have
more
so
Chanel
many
girl.
questions.
I'm a Chanel girl. Even if I get into Hermes, I'm still a Chanel girl.
But you know, when you were just lifting up that bag, I was like, gosh, why didn't you get it earlier? It goes
I
with your
know.
whole look.
No, because it's lambskin.
That's true. Yeah, lambskin is something that it's a next step, the next
Yeah.
step of luxe.
This year, I'm all about lambskin. I don't know what is wrong with me. I just want the lambskin.
Okay. Hi, Kat. My least used handbag from 2 years ago. Is your Birkin still one of yes? Definitely in year 2020, my entire collection is the least used. But it is still my least used bag. And it's not that I don't love it. It's my holy grail bag. When I use it, I just feel like, wow. Like, wow, did does this happen? Even though it's pre-loved, it's still very expensive. And it's just that feeling of whoa. And I love it. It's least used for a few reasons. It's pretty big, right? I don't carry so many things at every time that I go out. It is a pretty more formal bag, and also because it's the Birkin, I just feel like everybody's staring at me. I don't know, it's in the head, yeah. So it's still a little bit, yeah. But I am trying to use it a little bit more. But then 2020 happened, and yeah.
I feel like I would be in the same boat as you, Kat. Like I want one, but I would feel exactly the same. A bit conscious. I want to use it, but yeah, it just depends where I go.
Yeah, depends where you go. Exactly. Maybe I need a few more Birkins to get this feeling out of my head. Okay. Do you think the Chanel DeVille tote is worth the money?
It could be.
I
I still like the bag, honestly. But I think I would go for the smaller size now.
Oh,
which is kind of weird because I went for the larger size, like the medium size, because I wanted that top handle. But now, if I were to rebuy it, I would go the size down, like the one with just a shoulder strap, because it's such a cool bag. I like it, even if it's fabric. I feel like if I got the smaller size, I would get more wear out of it, so it would be more worth it, even though it doesn't have that handle. I wish they just added the handle on the small size too.
Yeah,
What do you
totally.
think?
Yeah, I think they have one, the DeVille tote, which is the leather version,
Yeah.
which I've seen. It kind of looks a little smaller than the usual
But it's
DeVille
heavy.
tote. Oh, it's heavy. I haven't tried it in store. It's
I
worth. I
find it
mean,
heavy.
the price. I think the price is okay
Mhm.
for a Chanel bag because you get a lot of bag, right? You know, people's like, oh, it's so big a bag for a great price, but you need to know whether you're gonna use such a big
Exactly.
bag, which is our problem, right? I sold it
Mhm.
because it was like half my body. And when I carried it on
Exactly.
my shoulder, it was like a sack.
Like, where are you going? Cross country? Did you bring a passport?
It's like because I'm going marketing, but with a Chanel tote, you know. So, but if you need such a big bag, you know, maybe like you see there's a little baby there, you got things and all that, yeah, then go for it. Because actually, it's the price point is what makes it so attractive. Okay, this is for you, Avi.
Oh, but
I think you've
I
done
have,
it, right?
yeah, I just did a new, well, I mean, it was not just pros and cons, but I just kind of did another updated Gabrielle review. Unless you haven't seen it yet. It's pretty recent, actually. It's within the last couple months, I think. And I also have a Gabrielle playlist. You might be able to find that if you go to my playlist section. It's a huge section though, which is why I'm trying to clean it up. I'll have Kat link it afterwards.
Mm,
How about that?
yep,
And
send it
if
to me.
that's, I'll just link the playlist so you can just watch all of them and see if it answers all your questions. But yeah.
Yeah. I've got a playlist as well. I'm like, everything, anything, we just chuck it inside, go there. Okay, this is for me. Hi Kat, love your Celine box bag review. Do you still use it? Has the popularity decreased after Phoebe left? I'll answer the back one first. I'm not really sure. I think a lot of people are not. It's a big contrast between Phoebe and what's the name of that new guy? What's his name? I
It
can't think
starts
of.
with an H.
Yeah, I can't remember his name off the top of our heads. I know Hadi
Yeah.
something. Okay, no. Anyway, yeah, it's just that because he comes from the YSL side, which is very grungy, very edgy, and then Celine's all about minimalistic. So people are like maybe not so. They haven't accepted it. Has it decreased in popularity? There's always this transition, with brands, with new designers. People are like, oh my gosh, it's awful, terrible, terrible. And after a while, they get surprised or they start to accept it. That's everything about change is always like that. I actually have sold my Celine bag, and if you watch my video when I first got it, I actually I think I mentioned it in that video to say that why did I get my Celine bag? My Celine bag, I love it, but it is actually my step up to the Hermes Constance. Like, firstly, you can't get a Constance like that. You have to either be, from a reseller or you have to have a purchase history. And it's so expensive. It's like a Birkin price. So do I want to commit to that just because I want the Constance? And the Celine is actually a very good gauge to see whether this bag, will suit my style. So I loved it. I feel like it's a great bag. It's so minimalistic. Everything I say is true. But I realized that after using it for so long, the type of style of that bag is not my preference, which is accordion style bags. Don't really like that. It's more of a hassle to use. And also, it had 3 compartments, which I've come to realize that it's not a preferred style. It's not that I'll never get another, accordion style bag again, and I don't, bags with compartments. It's just that it's not a style that I go for. I just like a big hole in my bag that I can put everything inside. If I want to be organized, I will use pouches. But when the bag is preset already for me, I find that I'm being a jigsaw to add it into those the spaces that is given. So that's my explanation of why I don't have it anymore. So yeah, so it looks like I'm not getting the Constance as well because it's not a style design that I like. Okay, Luxy Cheek again. Recently bought the multi-pochette and the pochette accessoire. Now I'm thinking that I have 4 pouches and a strap. Should I sell one or the other? I'm afraid I'll regret it. So multi-pochette is the
This one.
our bag.
Yeah,
Okay.
our bag.
And then the pochette accessoire.
That's just the regular old pouch.
That's hard, huh?
Yeah, because I'm just wondering, are you afraid of regretting because you actually love all of them, or are you just regretting because it's hard to get?
That's a good question. Yep, that's a good point.
Do you actually love those pouches, or do you actually love this bag? That's my question for you. Maybe think about that. I mean, they're hard to get, but if you try hard enough, you can always get it, I guess. That's my philosophy. So if you really don't need all of them, then sell it. Unless you love them and you're just not sure, then maybe hold off and just until you're sure. Yeah.
This is interesting, because I while in my quarantine, I've been chatting to a lot of people, and I've been getting questions like, should I sell this bag? Would I, I think I would regret it. And I think the baseline for me is, are you selling it just because you've got nothing else better to do, number one, and that you don't love the bag anymore? But if you really need the money, then of course, sell the bag. But if you don't need the money, then why are you thinking of selling it? You know what I mean? Because it's basically money sitting there, right? That you're feeling like, oh, maybe I could use it for other things. But if you still love the bag, then the thought process is not right, So you have to really question yourself why you want to sell the bag. Sometimes it's out of boredom. Sometimes it's just like, I want to, because, we women, we go through these phases of the house is so dirty, and then we go through this whole cleaning craze, right?
Declutter.
Declutter, get rid of everything, throw, and then you just feel like, But those are the days and times that you just go into this zone that is not rational when it comes to your bags, and it happens. So yeah, take your time. Take your time.
I also have a
you
feeling that maybe she feels like it's excessive to have 4 pouches. But if you love all of them, then it's not an issue.
Yeah. Is it excessive to have 20 luxury bags? Yes. Do I love all of them? Yes.
All relative, yeah.
All right, Serenity, how was your thoughts on the
Bobby
Christian
bag?
Dior Bobby bag? I've seen some pictures.
So it's the one with the moon shape. It just launched today in Vancouver, actually, I think. My thoughts is that I like the look, but I personally would not like the bag because I don't like non-straight bottom bags. Like this kind of roundness is okay, but I don't like a moon shape, because like everything that you put inside will be like angled. Because I like to stand up my SLGs. That's how I play Tetris with. That's how I can manage to wear mini bags and have everything I need, because I just stand up everything. It's organized. It's easy to get in and out of. Whereas a moon shaped bag, it can't stand up. So all your things are kind of like in a mess. So that's why I won't.
It doesn't have a flat base. It's round.
It's more rounded, yeah.
Oh, that's
if you look it up. I mean, it's not completely round, but I know because I tried. It's a different bag. So the LV boîte chapeau, the box hat, it's also kind of rounded, right? It's not completely round. It's actually rounded, and then it's a little bit cut off, like a little bit straight on the bottom. But even then, that one still annoyed me. I tried it. So I'm pretty sure the Bobby is going to be the exact same story for me. If you look it up, you can probably bring it up to the screen, but it's pretty, it has, it's rounded. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like it's rounded.
There is this brand in the States. A few years ago, I was following their website, their Instagram, and they had a bag that looked like this. This is it's like any contemporary brand
Has something like that, right?
yeah, has a style like that. It's nothing unique, and it's not that every bag needs to be unique like the saddle bag, but I mean, just like it's I don't know. I don't know. Would I pay? I don't know how much is this. How much is this bag?
The
A lot.
the smallest size in the fabric is 4,700 Canadian plus tax, so it's pretty up there. And also the opening, like you open up to a little like curved hole. It's not. I don't think it's the most easy to, like, even if the bottom is acceptable to you, I still feel like it's not the most. I don't know. It's too.
Yeah, so it's selling for about 4,600 to 5,900, and I don't know whether this Harper's Bazaar website in Singapore is giving Singapore prices or USD, but it's steep. It's steep for
And the mini size doesn't even fit the Max phone. Like the small size doesn't fit a Max phone.
There are better bags out there. We're gonna end it there like that. Thought on Amy, this for you. Vanity case.
Yeah, I've gotten that question before. So I like the look of it, but I never got it because I have this issue with zippers zipping around. I just don't like zippers to begin with. If it's straight, okay. But if you zip around, that's like when I stop, I'm like, no, it's too much hassle. It's kind of similar to your bag, Cat. It's like the LV one that you have to zip around. It's like you have to accept that before you get it.
To. Yes.
For me, it's
corner turn. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. You're like,
yeah.
Ugh. Some are super smooth. Some are just nice, but it's because of that corner turn. You actually have to open it entirely for you to access the bag. Otherwise, you can't just open the top and squeeze your hand in. You can't. You have to go all around the corner and then open the bag. So it's a step up.
Yeah, I would get annoyed, which is why I never got it.
Oh, Kim is here. Let's say hi to Kim,
hi,
everybody.
Kim. I also saw Gina.
Gina?
At one point I saw Gina.
Oh, okay, Gina's here. Hi, Gina. You're still here. I must have missed it. Okay, so wow, we've got. Okay, here's another one. I think we answered it. So we'll just answer this quickly. Do we waterproof our bags? So we were talking about the Vaqueta. I actually don't use anything on my bags.
Me neither.
Mm-hmm.
But do you use anything on your shoes?
Nothing. I should. I should.
Actually, me neither. But I think it's maybe just a Canadian thing. So for us, for boots, if you want it to be more waterproof because of snow and rain, yes, we spray something. But that's more. It's not really luxury though. It's just really practical reasons. You want to spray on suede or like on just like leather boots so that it keeps the waterproofing better. But that's not luxury. So luxury wise, no, never treat anything. Never want to touch it. Never want to change it. Never want to like risk it. Basically,
here our seasons are quite. We have quite a like. What's the word? Like it's like standard. It doesn't really change very drastically. It's hot, rainy, muggy, hazy, and even in a full day. Yeah, it rains. I mean, it rains, I would say, in 1 week, 5 times a week. But we kind of know what time it rains. It'll rain in the evening. So, and when it comes to like the rainy season, we just don't use those expensive shoes, right? But we don't have like a full season, like overseas, 3 months of snow. Then I think it's a different question. I probably, if I had all luxury shoes and I had to wear them in a full 3 or 4 months, I would probably use something on my shoes. But right now, no, just wear.
Yeah, I think shoes is acceptable to spray them because it touches the ground.
Okay, here's one from Maria. Maria is our You're our Hermes queen, you
She
know.
is.
She is, you know. She's like, let me tell you, this is the Hermes bag, and we love it, right? We love reading your comments because it's great. So Hermes Birkin every day is the way. I think so. You know, there was this video, sidetrack a little bit, from Mel in Melbourne, and she did a video with an Hermes like specialist. Did you watch that, Amy?
Is it the owner of 7 Rue Paradis? The
Yeah, the
organizer
bag
for the
organizer.
Hermes bag? Yeah, I watched it. She owns quite a few exquisite pieces herself. Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched it while getting ready. So I wasn't like looking at the phone, but I was hearing and I was like glancing at it once in a while. Yeah.
Her bags, her Kellys, I remember.
Yeah, really.
Were like
really
20
beautiful.
years or really old, and it just looked absolutely like wow. So yeah, I definitely agree, you know. 20 years.
I can only dream. Why didn't I start earlier? I'm just kidding. Couldn't. Not ready yet. It's like when I bought my first Chanel bag, I was not ready for it. A few months later, I sold it brand new and lost money. It was so stupid. I wasn't ready yet back then. So now I am. You're right, Maria. I am.
Come on, we're calling out the Hermes angels. Okay, we are at the 2-hour mark, but we still have quite a few questions, so we'll just go through them as well. Is known for the price increases. What's the limit on how much you would spend on a Chanel bag? Oh, I have my limit already. I think I've hit it.
I think it depends. It depends on the bag, because maybe last year my limit was 5,000, but then this year is like higher because I know the price is higher. You just kind of adjust over time. I really do feel that you adjust over time. And it also depends on your wish list. Because are you going to give up on your wish list? I guess if you are, then there you go. That's your limit. But if you're not really going to give up your wish list, you're going to find a way. You're either going to save longer, or you're just going to bite the bullet and get it early, or you're going to buy pre-love. Like there's a way. There's always a way, right? It's up to you whether you want to do it or not. So I think it's a little relative, but I would say, my limit is I probably won't buy the Chanel Classic Flap retail here. That's my limit. Yeah. So anything under that is fine.
That's still quite a big number. I think I'm in the same train of thought, because 10 grand for a Chanel bag is right now very, very painful to even consider, because that classic flat, which I own the jumbo, then we got the reissue, which is also very classic. It's so the number is just like, what? Did you say that again? No. So maybe over time, because if I love it enough, like we love it enough, we will save for it. You know, we'll say, okay, never mind. Just don't buy XX other things.
Exactly.
Put that all into the bag. Yes, I could have paid 6,000 last time, but since I'm not buying all the other things, you'll justify to hit that number because you love it. It's the wish list item. So it's I'm trying to justify the Chanel 19 because it just jumped like 2 prices from the day I wanted it. So
it's so painful. Like it is. I feel for you because I love the bag so much, and I feel like you would love it too. That's the thing. I know you will love it too.
I know. I can feel it. I can feel it in my cupboard. Okay, Amy, here's one for you. It's about your tweed little bag.
Oh, the quality. So I don't have another tweed bag to compare to, although I did like a previous season, I tried on other tweed bags, and it's true that the current, not the current, but like the houndstooth one, it's not as tight. And I guess it's kind of the characteristic of the fabric, which is the reason why when I unboxed it and I said it's going to be a bag that I don't wear a lot, because it's kind of a collector's piece, and it's kind of like such a special piece that I would only wear on occasions. I would never be able to wear that same houndstooth crossbody the same way that I would wear the black one or the red one that I have. That's impossible because those two are so carefree. Whereas this one, you know, the looser knit and you don't want it to pill, all those things. You just, yeah, you have to baby it a little bit more. It's true. It's not so much the quality, I feel. It's more so the way they decided to knit or to weave that fabric is a little looser. Yeah, that's. So
Are you
that's what I
afraid
would
of it
say.
getting yellow? Like, this always something that I
No,
like. I
or
have
maybe
something.
because I live in Canada, there I don't have that issue of like
Mm.
yellowing so much. It's more so the just like pilling and maybe color transfer if it rubs back and forth, but that's not how I'm gonna wear it. That's the thing, because I know I'm aware of it, right? It's more the pilling and just the fact that the weaving of the fabric is not super tight like some of the past tweed that I've seen. It's just very characteristic of this one because there's the ribbon going across. So like you don't want to snag the ribbon, right? So it's just the fabric itself. You just have to be, it's just a little bit more delicate.
I love the color. Like, it would be a dream to get that houndstooth bag, but it's not. So if you're in Asia here, if you don't have your bag kept in a special vault that is air conditioned 24/7, the problem with white tweed is yellowing, right? Over time, but not immediately, not like in the next day or the 1 year. We're talking like a few years, because I have a white jacket, tweed jacket, but not Chanel, just a normal white jacket that I kept in my cupboard. And after like a few years, I took it out and I was like, oh, what's that? Yellow dots. So yeah, it's something that you can't avoid unless you are keeping the bag in a dry, which is like Canada, dry, less humid environment. So that's just a little thing that gorgeous. Okay, gorgeous. This one for both of us. Would you go for a patent square mini or a rectangular mini? Black or pop of color, or is it caviar lambskin all the way?
Yes, to the latter. Not necessarily lambskin, but definitely caviar, because I feel like with the mini bags, I tend to wear them crossbody, so it swings more, and I'm more carefree with them. I wouldn't discount a lambskin one if I liked one, but I'm not ever after a patent mini square or rectangular one though, so I don't even think about it.
Same.
Yeah, but if I got one, it would probably be black.
Same.
Exactly.
Yeah, same. The answer is the same, because black for I have a patent turquoise walk, which, sadly I'm not in my usual setup. Otherwise I will bring it up and show you. Over the years, the color has faded, color run. It's not as sea green as I got it. Right now it's kind of like the sea green that has been washed off a little bit. So it's very strange. I will bring it back to Chanel to check. But yeah, if I had to get a patent, it would be black all the way.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see how many. Oh, we have one more here. I think this is the last question. Do you think a 3,500 USD for a jumbo flat mint condition is a good price? Navy, easy to style. So what's the jumbo right now?
I think they said 7,000 US, right? Last time.
Oh yeah.
So I think it's decent, especially if it's mint condition. And navy is usually pretty easy to style, and it's not as harsh as black. So do you absolutely love it though? Because that's the thing with the debate between lambskin and caviar. I absolutely love the feel and luxuriousness of lambskin. I really do, which is why I'm so open to owning more. But think about how you're going to use the jumbo. and because it's
2013.
shoulder and yeah, it's actually really decent, the price and everything. Yeah.
2014 bag.
2013. So it's the same year as mine, probably. Mine, the single flap that I have. Oh no, wait, mine is 2009. Never mind, 2009, 2010. So it's newer than mine. Yeah,
I think it's a good price.
I think it is.
But
Yeah.
the thing about price is, it's like, oh, such a great deal. Then you're more attracted to the deal
Mhm.
than the bag itself. So sometimes we buy it just because it's, wow, what a great deal. It's like sales, right? You buy things during a Zara sale or a
Yeah.
Uniqlo sale because it's a great deal.
Yeah.
But then when you bring it home, you're like, well, wasted. I don't wear it so often.
Yeah.
So don't great deal, definitely. I mean, if the price is going at 7,000 now, when you look at that, it's like, whoa, 50% off. But would you use it? Is the color something that you want? Is lambskin something that you can take care of? Is the size right for you? So you gotta look beyond the deal.
Yeah. Think about it. Like, imagine yourself owning it. Do you absolutely love it? Or are you just like, maybe? Or, oh, actually, it's a good deal. That's why I thought about it. But if that's the case, maybe think a little longer. Yeah.
Okay, I think that was, hang on, all right, so we got one last question from Joyce, and then I think we'll call it a day. Kat, at least you don't worry about humidity when you, not a question, but yes, girl, Joyce, I am dreaming of this. I was chatting with Clara that I am putting money aside for this JUC. However, it's so expensive, and I just recently did this video about debt that I refuse, to take money out from my savings to buy it because it's just so crazy. And one of the things is that when I checked it out in store, they always say this, the price is going to go up, there's going to be a price increase. So this knowledge of a potential future price increase gets me all jittery, like, oh no, I'm going to spend more money, I need to buy it now. But if you look at your own position, like for me in that position, I don't have ready cash put aside for such a big price. So I guess just an advice for all of you, sometimes this price increase thing, unless you're absolutely sure that you're going to buy it, sometimes it might just take the price increase, because wow, some items are just so expensive. JUC is one of them. It's like a Hermes 2020.
Yeah.
So expensive. Or maybe a little less. Maybe a little bit less. Do we have time for one more question?
I saw the question. I was already thinking about my answer, and I don't know what my answer is.
Okay, let's see.
Why have you choose one bag? Oh my gosh.
Good question to end.
Like, if you have to choose two, it's already hard enough. I can choose one. But SLG, I know. It's going to be my 6-key holder from LV. Bag, oh my gosh. I can't. Which bag am I going to choose?
10 years. Why don't we ask? Why don't we ask everybody? We ask everybody as well. Why don't everyone put your thinking caps on, since we're going to end the live chat, right? So why don't everybody, so that we can read it later, your only bag and SLG if you had to own one for the next 10 years. Well, you think, the pressure is back on all of you.
I would hope that assuming I had the Hermes Birkin, that would be it. And the 6-key holder. But since I don't have it, I don't know. Because I want to say Chanel 19, but then I would miss my Gabrielle, and then I would miss, I don't know. I would miss so many bags. I don't know. I would even miss this one because I really like how easygoing this is. I mean, like the whole Mitzi Pochette one, because I mean, I still believe that you should buy this bag, okay? Just buy it. It's so amazing. Like, you can travel with it. You can wear it separate, together. nighttime bag, daytime bag. It's hard. I can't choose one. How do you choose one? Which one are you choosing?
Next time when we see questions like that, we're not putting it up. It's too hard. For me, I think I would go for SLG. I don't have anything. Or maybe I would pick something that I could keep, like just cash and cards, like something small, right? I don't have it anymore, actually. It's my clay, my Empreinte clay. That would be a good little SLG to keep for the next 10 years, because it's just like a card holder. It has a little zip at the back with coins. If I had to just pick one, I would probably keep that. For bag, I was thinking maybe I should just steal Amy's answer and say the Birkin. But then I'm thinking, well, it's just a top handle. What if one day I need, in this 10 years, I
Yeah.
need something to I need to throw it on my shoulder. Then how? How?
See, you can't choose one.
Well,
You
it's hard.
can't.
Hard. I think I would. Oh man, I don't know. What would I pick? You're trying to think of long term. 10 years. Are you all answering? Oh, we got answers. Chanel. Maybe we'll steal your answers. Chanel medium large gold hardware. Hermes Brienne compact. We've got Birkin. We've got Brienne wallet. This Brienne wallet. Oh, this Brienne wallet is this how you pronounce it?
I don't know.
Burn. Maybe burn. Jumbo. We got mini pochettes. We got YSL zippy coin. Oh man, it's so difficult. Oh, it's not easy. Oh, we got one from, what does Black Dweeb say? Hermes Kelvy bag, raising that's an SLG. Oh.
No, the SLG is the Calvi. Yeah, Hermes Calvi. That's the SLG, and then the bag is Hermes Kelly 32 retourné in raisin color. It looks like.
See.
And Gina is Birkin 30.
Gina, I missed Gina's. All the comments are going like. So we miss yours. We apologize. We'll read it later. What is Gina's? I missed her.
It's a little higher up. It's just like the one above the Burn wallet that you just saw earlier. Just the one above Luxy Chic, about the Birkin 30 and Burn wallet.
Oh, here we go. Gina. Birkin. And
yeah, trendy CC clutch. It's like another bag, but it's a cheap.
That's true, huh?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Clutch. That's all right. Okay, great. Well, we didn't answer you because you're avoiding it. You're forcing us to answer. We're like, bag. Okay, maybe I'll pick my jumbo. I think I might pick my jumbo. Yeah, just it's classic. It's got the size. It's my first really expensive bag, just out of sentimental. Yeah, I think I would.
How expensive was it when you bought it?
I got it for like, if I convert it to Canadian, below 6, maybe 6.
Is it in Singapore dollars?
Yeah.
That's really good.
That's a long time ago, right?
But I know back then it was really expensive.
Well, yeah, back then it's like, oh my, what am I doing? Are you crazy?
Now it's like, just take my money.
cheap, like a bird.
Now you can even buy the Chanel 19 with that. Like my Chanel 19 was $5,900 plus tax, so it was 60 something, 65. I don't know. Is it 5,900? I don't even remember if it was 5,900.
How much?
66. Oh, that's more than I thought. 66. Oh.
You can only get it's like if I buy a square mini and I buy a little SLG, that's all I can get right now with the 6. It was just under just under 7, like 6, 8 or something like that. I
Mhm.
can't really remember, but yeah, that's basically you buy a you buy a small little rectangular mini
Yeah.
and an SLG to put inside, and that's a jumbo.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god! Now it's in the wow, it's so crazy. The price now, it's just
And it was just last
mind-blowing.
year. Like my bag, it was just I bought it in cruise 2020, like December 2019. It was 7 months ago.
Oh, they need to chill with the price increases, right? Oh my gosh. Okay, so anyway, wow, thank you everybody. We are 2 hours 20 minutes. It was awesome. Next week will be hosted on Amy's channel. So head over there, because if you're not subscribed, go there, subscribe, and then hit the notification bell as well. We have our guest, Clara. Where's Clara? Clara, can you put a little
She's
comment?
there. I saw
Thank you,
her.
Clara. Put a comment and I'll drag you over. So Clara will be joining us, and we've got an interesting topic coming up. And actually, after that, we've got a surprise special guest. So, oh, here we go. There's Clara. Let's bring Clara up. Hello. Yes, yes. So Clara will be our first guest, and then after that, we've got another guest. Ooh. So yeah. So you won't see us the two of us. It'll be more of us. And more guests in the future. So I think like Amy and myself will, chat with some of you who are on YouTube. We would love that you would join us. It'll be a chat like that, right, Amy? This is how the
Mhm.
format is. We'll just mix it up when you would join us. So
Yeah.
anyway, sorry about the initial technical issues. That was so unexpected. But thank you everybody for joining us. And yeah, we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.